Good evening. Tonight, we are going to travel back in time. Back to medieval London. Not the London of traffic, trains, and bright electric lights. Instead, imagine a city of wooden houses, stone churches, muddy streets, open fires, and the slow, dark waters of the River Thames. We are going to spend one ordinary day there. There will be no great battle, no famous king, no dramatic adventure. Just a normal day, a day like thousands of others. The city is still dark. The sky is beginning to turn grey. Most people are asleep. Inside a small house, a family lies close together for warmth. The fire has almost gone out. Only a few red embers remain. Someone wakes. The embers are stirred. A small piece of wood is placed on top. A breath of air crosses the coals. A spark appears. Then a small flame. Slowly, the room begins to brighten. The fire is one of the most important things in the home. It provides warmth. It provides light. It allows food to be cooked. And on a cold morning, it makes the difference between comfort and misery. Outside, the first workers are already awake. A baker is preparing his oven. A brewer is beginning the day's work. A servant is carrying water. A porter is walking towards the river. The city is slowly coming to life. Then, from somewhere beyond the rooftops, a bell begins to ring. One deep note, then another. The sound travels through the streets. Church bells are part of everyday life in medieval London. They mark the hours. They call people to prayer. And they help give the city its rhythm. Slowly, doors begin to open. Wooden shutters are lifted. People step into the streets. The morning air is cold. The roads are uneven. Some are paved with stone. Others are made of packed earth. If it has rained, there is mud. If the weather is dry, dust rises beneath people's feet. Horses move through the streets. Their hooves strike the ground. Carts creak. People carry baskets. Children follow their parents. The city is becoming busy. The smell of fresh bread drifts through the morning air. A baker has been working for hours. Bread is one of the most important foods in the city. For many people, it is part of almost every meal. A loaf may be bought for breakfast. It may be carried to work. It may be shared with the family. A simple meal might include bread, cheese, pottage, and ale. Pottage is cooked slowly in a pot over the fire. It might contain grains, peas, beans, vegetables, or whatever food is available. For a wealthy household, there may be meat, fish, spices, and better bread. For a poor household, meals may be much simpler, but everyone needs to eat. And so, as the morning continues, the markets begin to fill. The market is one of the busiest places in London. People arrive with food. Others arrive to buy it. There are baskets of vegetables, fresh bread, fish from the river and the sea, meat, cheese, cloth, tools, and many other goods. The market is noisy. Sellers call out. Customers ask questions. People bargain over prices. Children move through the crowd. Dogs search for scraps. A horse becomes impatient. Somewhere, someone laughs. Somewhere else, someone complains. The market is not just a place to buy things. It is where people meet. News travels through the market. A traveler brings news from another town. A merchant speaks about a ship arriving at the river. Someone tells a story about a neighbor. Someone else repeats a rumor. In a world without newspapers, telephones, or the internet, news travels from person to person. The market is alive with voices. Now, let us walk towards the River Thames. The river is one of the great roads of medieval London. Boats carry goods into the city. Grain, timber, salt, fish, cloth, wine, and many other things. The riverbank is busy. Porters carry heavy sacks. Ropes are pulled. Barrels are rolled. Boats move slowly with the tide. The air smells of water, wet wood, smoke, and fish. The Thames is not always peaceful. The current can be strong. The banks can be slippery. But for the people who work beside it, the river is part of everyday life. It provides food, it provides work, and it connects London with the wider world. For a moment, we can simply stand beside the water. The sun is now above the rooftops. Its light touches the surface of the river. A boat moves slowly across the current. The city is reflected in broken pieces. The water never truly stops moving. The tide rises. The tide falls. And the river continues. By the middle of the day, the streets are crowded. Workshops are open. A blacksmith works beside a hot fire. A carpenter shapes wood. A leather worker prepares hides. A weaver works with thread. An apprentice carries tools and materials. Much of the work is done by hand. A pair of shoes takes time to make. A piece of cloth takes time to weave. A wooden object takes time to shape. The work is often repetitive, but repetition creates skill. One movement, then another. 1 hour, then another. The day passes slowly, and the people continue working. At midday, many people stop to eat. The meal may be simple: bread, pottage, cheese, fish, perhaps meat, perhaps a pie, a cup of ale. The food depends on wealth. But after a long morning, even a simple meal can be comforting. People sit together. They talk about work. They talk about the weather. They talk about money. Then after the meal, the work begins again. The afternoon is quieter. The morning rush has passed. But the city is still busy. Carts move through the streets. People visit shops. The river continues to carry boats. The bells continue to ring. The weather shapes the day. Rain makes the roads muddy. Cold weather makes the fires more important. Warm weather allows people to stay outside for longer. People cannot escape the weather. They live with it. The seasons shape everything. Winter brings cold and darkness. Summer brings longer days. Autumn brings harvests. Spring brings new growth. The city changes with the seasons, but the rhythm of daily life continues. By late afternoon, the sunlight begins to fade. Shadows stretch across the streets. Some shops begin to close. Goods are carried inside. Shutters are pulled across doorways. Tools are put away. Animals are fed. People begin to think about going home. The city does not close all at once. It slowly becomes quieter. Inside the houses, evening meals are being prepared. A fire burns in the hearth. A pot hangs above it. Food is stirred. Bread is cut. The household begins to gather. A medieval household may contain more than a small family. There may be servants, apprentices, children, relatives, and workers. The home is also a place of work. The evening meal may be one of the few times when everyone is together. The day's events are discussed. Someone tells a story. Someone complains about a customer. Someone laughs. A child asks a question. Outside, darkness is arriving. There are no electric lights. Candles cost money. Oil lamps are limited. When the sun disappears, the city changes. The streets become darker. People begin to return home. Some may visit an alehouse first. Inside there is warmth, food, drink, and conversation. People talk about business, the weather, their neighbors, and the wider world. But eventually, even the taverns become quieter. The city prepares for night. A candle burns in a window. A fire glows behind a shutter. The River Thames moves through the darkness. The last footsteps fade along the streets. Inside a small house, the evening meal is finished. The fire is reduced. A door is closed. A shutter is secured. A candle is extinguished. The household prepares for sleep. Beds may be shared. Blankets provide warmth. The room is dark. Outside, London is still alive. A watchman walks through the streets. A horse moves inside a stable. A dog barks in the distance. The river continues to flow. But most people are asleep. The day is over. From the first spark in the morning fire, to the ringing of the bells, to the markets, the workshops, the river, the evening meal, and finally the quiet darkness of night. It has been an ordinary day. And that is what makes it interesting. History is often filled with kings, battles, and famous events. But most people lived ordinary lives. They woke, they worked, they ate, they worried, they laughed, they grew tired, and they slept. The world around them was very different from ours. But the basic rhythm of life was familiar. Morning came, the day passed, night arrived, and people rested. The city is now quiet. The fire has become a soft glow of red embers. The streets are dark. The rooftops are silent. The Thames moves slowly beneath the night sky. And inside the houses of medieval London, people sleep. Tomorrow the bells will ring again. The markets will open. The ovens will burn. The boats will move. The streets will fill. And another ordinary day will begin. But for now, the city is resting. The fires are glowing. The river is moving. The night is quiet. And somewhere in medieval London, beside the last warmth of the hearth, someone is sleeping peacefully. Good night.